So today we're going to try to organize this little nook. It's quite a mess. And I saw Life DIY Josie make a shelf, and so I'm going to kind of copy her idea and make it my own to organize this little mess I have here. This is the table that I craft at. This is the shelves there are kind of the top of the dream box, or I guess the bottom of the drawers of the dream box. And there's this little nook behind there where you're supposed to be able to store stuff. I have so much junk back there, however, it was just getting too overwhelming. I need to clean it up. So we're going to make a shelf. So I'm just measuring to see how much space I have. And I'm going to take this summer sign from Dollar Tree. This was from last summer, I think, maybe. So we're going to use that as the actual top of the shelf. So first, we're just going to take off this hang string, cord, string, whatever. And it was stapled on there really well. So I had to use these pliers to actually twist that off. And then I had to also then pull those staples out. It left some little rough marks. So I'm just going to take some really fine grit sandpaper really quickly and just wipe that down a bit or even that out a bit. Then we have to try to get rid of all this glitter. You know, Dollar Tree loves the glitter. And what I did was I peeled off as much as I could, and then I covered it in a wet towel, which helps to make the paper come off a little easier. This was quite a process. This is a process I do not like. I probably could have skipped this, but I wanted it to be a clean surface. So once I was done with that, I'm going to measure because I do need to cut this shelf down. I could only have it be, I believe it was 18 inches long is what I wanted or needed, so that it didn't hit my turntable or my Lazy Susan. So I'm just going to cut it down so it's 18 inches long. And then cutting this is relatively easy. I just put it on my cutting mat. I have my line there that I drew, and then I'm just going to use just a regular blade and cut into this MDF board. If you cut it enough, it will make a big enough indentation that you can actually just bend it and break it off, which is what I did. Eventually, you'll see that, I guess. And there we go. And then that left a rough edge. So then I tried to just use my Cutco scissors to trim that off. My hands aren't quite strong enough, so I did go back to my knife and try to cut it down that way. I just needed a few more swipes of that knife. And then once we've got that all figured out, I am going to cover the shelf in this, what is this called? The sticky paper. What is it called? Shelf liner? It's not shelf liner. I don't know. But I'm going to cover it in this wall covering paper, vinyl, sticky, shelf liner. I don't know what this is. This paper with the design from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that. So I'm just cutting a piece down or cutting a piece off of my roll. And I do want to make the shelf a little bit stronger, so I'm going to use this extra piece that I had and just put it straight down the middle, just to give it a little bit of extra support. I realize this is not going to make the shelf stronger that much, but it will help a little bit. And I'm using these little drawers to stand the shelf on. So I just measured this piece so that it's in the middle of the board, and I'm just going to cut the end off there. And then we're just going to glue that piece right in the middle there, leaving enough space on either side of that small board so that the shelf will fit next to that small board. And I'm just using my regular wood hot glue, and I'm going to press that down so it's really flat, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick this paper onto my shelf, which is why I wanted that glittery stuff to come off, because I want as good of a stick as I can get. and this helped with that. And so once I've got the paper up, then I'm going to put my shelf down, but I'm only going to do it in small sections because I don't want it to bubble or get uneven or whatever else. So just that small section there, and I'm going to cut around the little extra support piece that I put. I'm going to cut around that so that all of the pieces of vinyl can lay flat. It's not vinyl though, is it? I think it's shelf liner. I think that's what it is. And then we're going to go to the other side. I'm just going to cut off all of the extra so that it's got a nice tight fit. And then I use my little tool from Dollar Tree to scrape that down. And again, just cutting around that little ledge that I made. And just smoothing it out. I want it really nice and clean. And then these little drawers are what I'm going to use to hold the shelf up with. I'm going to paint them white. They probably would have been fine if I would have just left them that color, but I didn't want them that color, so I'm painting them white. And you can't really tell because of the brightness of my screen, you can't really tell, but there is a difference in color and they are now white. And then we're going to use the same hot glue, the wood hot glue, and we're going to glue these on to the back of the shelf. And the back is where the seam is and where that extra little support piece is. And when you're doing this, you do want to make sure you're using a shelf or a drawer that is flat, because if it's not flat, of course, it's not going to stand straight. So make sure that the ends are standing flat or at a 90-degree angle. And so there's my Lazy Susan. That is not moving. It is not changing. But now I can add this little shelf. And this will just make it so that I can use some of the vertical space. There's not a whole lot of space above the shelf, but enough that I could put my little, dustpan and my little vacuum, my little ladybug vacuum there, and my glue guns can sit under the shelf. So it organizes it a bit. It helps me out just a bit. I thought it was a little bit less tall. I thought I was going to get that up there, but it did not fit. So I'm going to set it next to the other glue gun down in the bottom there. And then my hair dryer is going to just have to stay where it's been the whole time. And so you can see I've just got a little bit more space to put my stuff away. Much better. I thank you so much for stopping by today. And I sure hope that you could give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe. Whenever you subscribe, you should hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. I am going to put Josie's video down below, so do make sure to look out for that and watch her video and support that. I thank you so much for stopping by today. Appreciate today, as tomorrow is never promised. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a great one.